Hi everyone, welcome to this video tutorial on how to create and configure the Vue Bullet Chart component using the Vue CLI command and Syncfusion EJ2 Vue Charts package. Using the Vue Bullet Chart, you can compare values of two measures. Here, a particular individual's completed story value is compared to a target value. I will show you how to configure this control along with a few of its basic features like setting an actual and target value, minimum, maximum, and interval values, and adding a title, subtitle, dimensions, and tooltip. I will also show you how to enable legend and change the orientation. Let me show you the application creation process using the Vue CLI toolchain. Make sure you have installed the latest version of Vue, Node, and Vue class component. In the command prompt, run the command npm install global Vue CLI. I'll create a new project using the Vue create command and provide the app name myVueProject. You will be asked to pick the preset. I choose Vue 3. I navigate to the desired location and install the Vue class component library using the command npm install Vue class component. Then, install the bullet chart package using the npm install @Syncfusion EJ2 Vue Charts command. Now, I open the project in VS Code. To start using the component, navigate to the app.vue page. Import the bullet chart component from the Syncfusion EJ2 Vue Charts package and register this component plugin to Vue. By doing this, all the component's child directives are also globally registered. Then I add the EJS bullet chart tag to the template section. Next, in the style section, I remove the default styles and import the Bootstrap 5 theme styles to apply styles to the bullet chart component. Before using the Syncfusion component, the Syncfusion license key must be registered. Open the main.js file and import the register license method from the Syncfusion EJ2 base package. Using this method, I register the trial license key. From the 2022 Volume 1 release, a license key is mandatory in the Vue projects to avoid license warnings. I then run this project using the command npm run serve. See, a basic bullet chart is rendered. Now in this example, I'm going to illustrate the sprint planning data, where I compare the individual's completed story points to the target story point. To compare measures in a bullet chart, I need to bind an actual value and a target value. I add the data method and return the data source to the component. I declare the variable, sprint data, and create an object with fields. Required stories of 20 and completed stories of 25. Also, assign a name to David. This field denotes the current value. This field denotes the target value. I assign this data object to the data source property. I add the value field property to show an actual bar or feature bar and assign the data source field, completed stories, to denote the current value. I add the target field property to show the target bar and assign the field, required stories, to denote the target value. I set the minimum story point value to 5, the maximum value to 45, and the interval value to 5, to set the appropriate tick interval. See now, the bullet chart component is rendered with a minimum value of 5 and a maximum value of 45 with an interval of 5. The target value denotes 20 and the current value denotes 25 story points. You can also add multiple data to the bullet chart. Here I add other objects with the same fields. Check now, multiple data added to the bullet chart. As you can see, there are multiple data points, and it appears congested. Let me show you how to increase the dimensions of the bullet chart so that the data points are shown properly. To change the size of the chart, you can use built-in height and width properties. Set the width to 80%. and height to 400 pixels. See now, the chart dimensions are changed. Notice here, multiple data are displayed. It's difficult to recognize which data belongs to a particular individual. So, I will show the categories in the bullet chart data. To do that, I add a category field property and map the name field from the data source. Check now, bullet chart shows the name category of each data. To visualize what kind of data is being displayed here, I need to set the title and subtitle. Let's see how to add a title and a subtitle. I add the title property, set its value to sprint planning, and add the subtitle property, setting its value to estimated in story points. Check now, the bullet chart is rendered with the title and subtitle. Let's see how to customize the tick lines. Notice the scale, where you can see two types of tick lines. Major ticks are the primary scale indicators, and minor ticks are the secondary scale indicators that fall between the major ticks. Here, I don't need minor ticks, since I'm showing the sprint details with story points. In the data method, I add the variable minor tick line of object type and set the width to 0 pixels to remove the minor tick lines. To customize the color of major tick lines, I add another variable, major tick line of object type, and set the color to blue. Next, add the minor tick lines property and assign the minor tick line object. Also, add the major tick lines property and assign this major tick line object. Check now, minor tick lines are disappeared, and custom color is applied to the major tick lines. I can categorize story ranges according to user performance standards as well. Say for example, by adding ranges, I can use 3 different color tones to delineate the good, bad, and satisfactory. To add the ranges in the bullet chart, I import the bullet range collection directive and bullet range directive from the Syncfusion EJ2 Vue Charts package. Here, I need to register these modules in the Vue components. I add EJS ranges and assign the bullet range collection directive. Also, add the EJS range and assign the bullet range directive. Next, I add the EJS ranges property to specify the list of range. I add the EJS range property to specify the details for a single range. The endpoint of the quantitative range is specified using the end property. I set its value to 25. In the same way, I add other ranges. Here, the minimum value is considered the starting point of the first range, and the previous range endpoint is considered the starting point for other ranges. Then, I add the color property to change the default color in each range. I set the different shades of blue color. See now, the bullet chart renders with 3 ranges and has custom colors on each range. These ranges display the qualities of good, bad, and satisfactory on the bullet chart scale. I can also indicate the actual and target measures with a distinguished feature by showing a legend. To do that, I import the bullet chart legend from the Syncfusion EJ2 Vue Charts package. I add the provide object and insert this module to the bullet chart array. In the data method, I add a variable, legend of object type, and I add the visible property and set the value to true. Now, assign this variable to the legend settings property. Check now, the legend is enabled in the bullet chart. Next, I will show you how to enable a tooltip. I import the bullet tooltip from the Syncfusion EJ2 Vue Charts package. In the provide object, add this module to the bullet chart array. In the data method, I add the object variable, tooltip settings. Add the enable property and set its value to true. Then assign this object to the tooltip property. Check now, the tooltip is enabled in the bullet chart. Finally, I will show you how to change the orientation of the bullet chart. By default, the bullet chart scale renders horizontally. To change that, I include the orientation property and set its value to vertical. See now, the bullet chart rendered in a vertical orientation. So far, have shown the minimal features in a bullet chart. To know more features, please explore the documentation page linked to the description below. In this video, I have shown you how to create and configure the Syncfusion Vue Bullet Chart component using the Vue CLI command and a few of its basic features. You can download a working example from the GitHub link in the description below. You can also see if you're eligible for our community license, which will get you a free license key to use our products. Thank you for watching this video. If you found this useful, give it a like and subscribe to our channel.